Hey guys, JacksTreasures here. I'm Tracy.
I'm Brian.
We are JacksTreasures.
That's
That's Jack.
Jack. Jack is our cat.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome in. This is our series, our ongoing series of Q&A on reselling.
Mhm.
We try to answer questions on reselling that are very, very common questions. And these are only our opinions. So if you have an opinion or a differing opinion and you want to put it in the comment below, please do. Just write a little comment down below. Our last video, Tracy and I had
A differing
we
opinion.
had a differing opinion, so we wanted to see how people reacted to that. So we'll answer, and we do read all of our comments and try to respond to all of the comments. So please definitely do if you have any questions, and also like, share, and subscribe. And if you can, please help us stop soldier suicide. Tracy will put a link down below to stop soldier suicide. Today's question.
We are going to talk about what is a loss leader.
Yes, very, very. This is a big part of JacksTreasures live selling, live auction on whatnot is
Yes.
using lost leaders. So
Loss leaders. There's no
lost
T at the end.
lost leaders.
Yes.
I call it lost because I'm lost
You are lost.
whenever we talk about stuff like this. Okay.
Um
What is a loss leader?
the to me the basic definition would be an item that we sell with no expectation of making a profit on, with the intention of accomplishing another goal by selling that item.
Yes. So it's an item that is what you would mainly call an open door.
Yeah.
Let's get those, open the
A
door and
marketing
get
tool.
and get people into our store.
Now, probably the most basic example of that would be like, think about your local grocery store. If you're like our stores, every week they offer like some BOGO items where you're getting this item like crazy cheap, and usually they're items that you don't need. They're not doing that for toilet paper and oranges. They're doing it for pizza rolls
I'm
and
sorry, oranges.
they're not.
Okay,
They're doing it for pizza
not
rolls
like
and Coke.
eggs,
Yeah.
milk, water.
No, it's not stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
pizza rolls, it's soda, it's
Yeah.
cookies, it's wants, not needs.
Right.
And they're using those items as a loss leader because you're going to look at the ad and you're like, oh my God, I can get pizza rolls for $1.99. That's amazing. And then once you're in the store, you're like, you know what? I really needed some toilet paper and some cat food.
I say it's something that is ooh, it's shiny, you know. Oh, she definitely did it that time, guys. This is the second time this week she has taken my drink
On camera.
On camera.
On purpose.
Second time. On purpose, too. I think I always equate it to, ooh, it's something that's shiny. It's something that catches your eye. It's something that when you're in a show or you're in a store, it's something that says, ooh, look at me. I'm Shrek. You know? So
nobody needs
this.
Right, there is not one person on God's green earth that needs a glow in the dark Shrek backpack.
Oh yeah, glow in the dark Shrek backpack, which is a lounge fly.
If I put that in my whatnot sale and I started at $1, which that'll probably happen someday. Right now, it's sitting in our buy now, but I'll probably put it in a show and start it at $1. People are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I want to try to get that," and they'll bid, and they probably won't bid it up to the value I could get on eBay for it,
or the cost that we paid for it.
But they're going to bid it up pretty high. And while they're there, they're going to be like, "Oh, you know what? I've already got free shipping.
Look at this.
Let me just throw that in there
I
for
like
$1."
This one right here that we have zero money in. So let's go ahead and pick that up and buy that because they're selling that for $1.
So, and especially with live selling, there's like a shipping break where people hit that shipping break and they're not having to pay extra shipping. So the stuff feels free almost.
Yeah, and it's literally when you to use a loss leader, you want to put it in the title of your show or the title of your static listing.
Right.
If you're doing some type of a static listing that involves either a variant listing or volume pricing or multi-quantities, you want to definitely use that loss leader special title of that hot item, like Loungefly. That's a hot item right now. People are buying Loungefly like crazy.
Or Pokemon, Disney,
right?
Different things that are popular.
Right, exactly.
since you mentioned it already, let's
Mhm.
go ahead and talk about how a loss leader could work in a static sale.
Yes,
Because it seems like, how am I going to use like a loss leader in eBay? You know, if I just put that up for $5, someone's going to come buy it, and that's true.
that is
That
true.
is not how I would do a loss leader in an eBay sale.
No.
For example, we at one time probably had about 500 packs of index cards. And
Boring index
boring,
cards, by the
plain
way,
white index
that we
cards.
never in a million years thought we would be able to move these
And
things.
I needed to sell them. I needed to get something for them. So I figured out a way to list them where if people were buying just one, I wasn't making anything. I wasn't losing anything. It was right at that cusp. I was just breaking even. But it was such a good deal. And I had a volume discount, which we'll talk about one day too,
Mm-hmm.
that it encouraged them to buy more than one. And once they were buying 2, 3, 4, and especially like 5 or more, I was making bank.
And that's what was happening too.
Mm-hmm.
And I use it with a variant listing.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one of our videos we talked about one of the favorite things that I like to sell is manuals, game manuals. Okay. Well, my loss leader if I use a loss leader in thing, I would be grabbing a very good game, like this one right here. What game was that?
That was Fester's Quest for
Yeah.
NES.
And let's say I put that and I put it in the title, variant listing, video game manuals, and all of them start at, let's just say, $1.98. Now that one right there, I could probably sell for $10 to $15, and I would make the money on that.
It's going to sell right away.
It's going to sell right away, but it still comes up in the
search.
title, and it'll show up in my listing as an out of stock item, and then hopefully people will keep looking through and
And
say,
they'll
"Oh
buy
my
his
gosh,
Madden
here's it."
94.
Yeah, I seriously doubt that. But they'll buy some of the other ones that I have in there, and then they get to that free shipping point or the discounted shipping point where it really is not going to add anything to it. So then they throw in the Madden 94 that's like $1.95 or whatever it may be, and I got nothing into it. So that's great opportunity. Now, did I lose some money? No, I didn't really lose money.
You just didn't make
I
as
left
much
some money on the table, okay, and left it on the table. Now for a live auction, we're going to, if let's just say this item, because we do this every single Friday, well, not every Friday, every other Friday, we have a show where I'm going to be putting in there a brand new lounge fly, okay,
for $1,
and I'm going to start it off at $1. All right, now for us, one of the biggest things that you have to do with a loss leader is you have to watch your cost, okay. Mm-hmm. If I'm anticipating going into that particular show and saying I'm hoping to make about $200 to $300 in that show for the 2 hours that I'm going to be on, which means of selling a lot of these type of items at $1 that I have zero in, or if I have anything into it, it would be like a dime or something like that.
They're from storage units.
And they're from storage units. So I got to sell a ton of those things in order to get to my goal, which would be, $200 to $250, whatever it may be, or more. I've done more in my shows, but I don't want to sit there and say, "Oh, I'm going to try to make $1,000 in the show because I have a lot of loss leaders in the show." Mm-mm. No,
if you have too many loss leaders, you're going to lose.
Yeah, you're going to lose money on that one because that right there, I guess that one costs us about $30, I would say.
Between $25 and $30.
About $25 and $30. So,
and I'm almost to sell it on whatnot on a normal night, probably between 20 and 25.
Well, some of the other ones that we have are the same way.
Yeah.
We paid like $20 for them. Let's just say we paid 20. We'll just say $25, make it easy. Do I think I'm going to make $25 in sales on that show? Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Based on history of the other shows that I've done that are set up the same way, that are running the same way, have a lot of the same types of items in there, I'm anticipating making about $100 and some odd dollars. Now, granted, I got to take the cost of that one over in there. But if I just ran those items, I do not believe I would be able to get those new buyers to come in and those new bidders to come into that room without that loss leader in my title, that hot item.
It is a form of marketing, like for our live auctions, mm-hmm. that we use a little bit more than, say, giveaways or paying for promoted, having our show promoted. We do some giveaways, and I have very slightly promoted a show here or there, but that's rare for us compared to using the loss leaders.
Yeah,
I feel like that's actually bringing in buyers instead of bringing in watchers.
Yeah, and people that are just there because they want the giveaways. But that's just a great thing. Now, can you get into trouble financially
Yes.
with loss leaders. Yes, you can.
I
Okay.
have unfortunately kind of seen that happen in other shows I've watched, and I'm like, they're losing money. There's no way they can be making money. They're using that to build their empire,
We've
and
done it.
and
Yeah, we've done it.
unfortunately, if you build too much on the loss leaders, people are going to expect that from you nonstop.
That's right.
So that's what we try to find that middle ground where we have a little bit of loss leaders, but mostly we're trying to sell the things that we are profiting on.
And one of the big things is with our loss leaders, no matter what they may be, whether it's a video game system. Now, in that case, it's not a loss leader for us. That would be just us losing out on money that we could make on
Potential
another
profit.
platform.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're not losing money on the item because we've already made all of our money on those items. Those are items that are storage unit and stuff like that. But we go and buy loss leaders on hot items. Okay. You don't want to do a loss leader on, first off, you don't want to make it too crazy. Okay. Let's say, for instance, you buy a brand new
Louis Vuitton
Louis
bag,
Vuitton bag that you end up paying, I don't know,
$2,000
you
for
pay
or something.
$2,000 for it, and you try to sell it as that's your big bang, call it a banger item in your show, which is great. But you might get, depending on how large your show is, how large your audience is, you might get, let's just say, $800 for it. Okay. Well, now you have to make up that other $1,200.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the items that you have in your sale, they're not even going to come close to that. Okay.
And I feel it's important that your loss leader kind of matches the tone of your show.
Mm-hmm.
We sell a lot of toys, we sell a lot of games, we sell a lot of Disney and Pokemon and video games, kind of fun
pop
culture, fun
pop
stuff.
Culture stuff.
So that's why our loss leaders tends to be Loungefly, because they're pop culture themed. They fit in. People who come for that are likely to find other things they like in our show.
Exactly.
Whereas if we brought a Louis Vuitton bag, they're going to look at the rest of our stuff and be like, why did I want to buy a Nemo fish? Or, exactly. A pair of Turtle Beach headphones. They don't want that.
Right. And then when you're doing that too, when they come back, what you were mentioning earlier, when they come back and you have that another Louis Vuitton in there, and you're like, well, shoot, I lost $1,200 on that, so I'm going to start this one off at $1,500. It's still a great deal, but it doesn't sell.
They're going to see it not as good of a deal.
And then it doesn't sell. Now you've got dead stock, or you're going to put it on.
Letting the loss leaders match the tone of your store, I feel, is very important.
It is super, super important. The type of a seller that you are would be really, really good.
Now, if you are selling pure luxury stuff, hey, maybe a Louis Vuitton loss leader is exactly what you need.
Right.
But I'm talking from JacksTreasures, it wouldn't work for us.
Yeah. So definitely leave a comment and see if that's something that would work for you. And what are some of your loss leaders that you put in the show? I mean, I'm letting you know ours. We have two main ones, which are definitely
Loungefly and high-end video games.
And high-end video games. Now, not video game systems, which I do start those off at $1. I have one tonight. As a matter of fact, I think I'm starting off at, like, I don't know, $10 or $5. I don't remember. But those items are there to remember the goal of a loss leader is to attract customers, whether it's on eBay, and you could use them on eBay, or it's on
a live selling
a live auction platform or a live selling platform. We haven't finished our debate.
Yeah, we're gonna,
that one. Right
I'm actually waiting for some of our loyal followers to tell us their opinion and tell us that I'm right.
If they do, it's only because they like you more than they like me. I'm very unlikable. But give us your opinion on what you think a good example of a loss leader is. And again, loss leaders are really, really good, but make sure that you can make that money in your sales. Okay. That item, that Loungefly, the Loungefly that I'm going to be running on this Friday in our show, I think it's going to be a Batman Loungefly. It is really super cool and stuff like that. And I will let you know. I think we have about $25 to $30 into that thing.
And we'll run it for $1.
And we're going to start it off at $1. It's my prediction is probably going to sell for about $24. Yeah. So we'll have a little bit less. We're not going to make our money on that one, but it's going to attract people in, because I don't run. Do not run if you're doing shows on Whatnot, do not run your loss leader at the beginning of your show. You got to build that audience up and build those buyers up and let them see some of the great deals that you have. And then you run that deal and you say, oh yeah, we also have this, we also have this, we also have
Mm-hmm.
this. Yesterday we did this during the hoodie battle. We had a banger of a hoodie. We had that hoodie as not as backup, but that was one that we're going to sell. We didn't sell it
We
because we
ran out
didn't
of
even run
time.
it. We ran out of time. But I did end up taking 3 things that we bought at the same time as we bought some of these other things. So we had 0 cost into those. So our loss leader was the hoodie, and then we ended up making a bunch of money on
And things
socks,
like that.
that we sold for like $5. They weren't socks that you would get at Dollar Tree either, by the way, for a buck and a quarter. These
Not that
are
there's anything wrong with that. I
not
think I'm
there's
wearing a
anything
pair
wrong
right
with
now.
those. Yeah, there's not anything wrong with that. But these were socks that we got at GameStop, so they were
A
really,
little
really
higher
cool
end.
socks. One of them was Pokemon, and another one was some one that comes
guy.
from an egg anime guy.
Guyu Rayman
Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
Right. So loss leaders can be really, really good. Just be really, really careful with them. Know your audience. Know
And if
when
you
to bring
can't
them.
afford to do a loss leader, don't do it, because
Yeah.
it you could wind up getting yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
A year or so ago, if I'd tried to run a $1 lounge slide, there's a very good chance that thing sells for $30.
Yeah, $1 or $3.
So
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. We were doing a show, and I read the show completely wrong. I ran 19
I remember that.
Blu-rays for $1,
Mm-hmm.
and I was anticipating them
As
going
a
up to
set.
about
As
a
a
set.
set.
It was a lot. It was like all of the ones that I ran in the show for $5, and I didn't get anything for them. And so I put them all together, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna run these all for $1." Misread the entire.
And in the
room.
past, we've done all right with that. You know,
Yeah.
we've managed to get a nice little sum for them, but
Yeah.
they sold for $1.
They sold for $1. 19 of them and stuff like that. Plus, I had to pay for the shipping on it too, because at that point we didn't have the shipping in correctly. So it was just a mess. So be really, really careful with those. So let us know your opinion. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And this one actually went longer than the other one.
It did.
And if you could, please check the link down below. Check the link below for Stop Soldier Suicide, and do help us meet our goal of reducing that 22 number down to by 1 per day. Okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye.